think Servalan's motivation, the thing that drove her, was a need for power because she wanted to make herself invulnerable. Because I think essentially she was a very vulnerable person. And like people who are that vulnerable, she had an extraordinary display of strength. I do think that Avon and Servalan were well matched as a couple. Yes, there was a sexual tension, which should have been developed much more. I think that was probably, certainly for me, to play the most interesting part of the show. I think relationships are what is important, and I found episodes of standing there saying standard by 10 profoundly boring. You and I could build an empire greater and more powerful than the Federation ever was or ever could have been. Now, Avon, at this moment we can take history and shape it in our own image. Think of it. Absolute power. Servalan occupied a position of power, great power, at a time when women weren't doing that nearly as much. And I think that was part of her fascination.
In the series, Servalan was very much a token man. There are comparisons which we could make.
The interesting thing for me when Terry Nation was writing the script, he told me that originally Servalan was a man. And he was halfway through the first episode when he suddenly thought, no, he's a she. So halfway through writing, she became a woman. I found that very interesting. I think you should know that there's been considerable criticism of your handling of the Blake affair.
What?
Well, so far, your operation has been very costly, and there have been no worthwhile results.
That's not entirely just. There have been 2 occasions where I could have destroyed Blake. It was only the administration's insistence that the Liberator be captured undamaged that stopped me.
I have made that point in your defense, but I can't go on making excuses.
Blake's attitude to Servalan was that as the head of the arch enemy, she was the one driving force that had to be destroyed.
I felt when I was doing Blake7 and playing Servalan that I didn't get the support of the people around me to the degree that I felt I should have done. I don't know if it was because it was a them and us situation on the screen and therefore it developed into that off screen, but I felt very much that I was on my own against everybody else, or that everybody else was against me. I think people, certainly in the cast, approached her with caution, particularly as the series developed. And I don't know, did the audience have a fear of her? I think she generated a certain respect.
I think Callie thought Servalan was a total pain. I don't think she had any respect for Servalan at all. Only respect in the sense that Servalan was in a position of great power and could possibly one day get the better of the Liberator and her crew.
I was playing Servalan, Supreme Commander of the Universe, so the producer said I should wear a safari suit and jack boots and a helmet. And at that time, as you know, I had very short hair. So I said, well, if you do that with this haircut, you might as well cast a man. I think we should go completely in the opposite direction and play against the slightly masculine look and dress her in a very feminine way. Oh, very attractive. A little old-fashioned and not my color, but it'll do very nicely.
Not too young for you?
Oh, I don't think so, do you? I find unsophisticated clothes quite amusing. Like unsophisticated people. Obvious, but amusing. I think that was always a moot point. Where had Servalan come from? No, I didn't have any idea of her history. I don't work that way. My favorite episode of Blake7 is an episode called Sand, written by Tanith Lee. And the reason I find it so interesting is because she was wise enough to show the vulnerability of the woman, to show why she had developed this obsessive lust for power, which for her equaled protection against a world she found extremely harsh.
He left me. I grew up. Power became my lover. Power is like a drug. It is beautiful, shiny. I could destroy a planet by pressing a button.
This man wrote to Servalan and said, would I go around and chastise him? But could I go after 10 o'clock at night because his mother didn't go to bed till 9:30? Do I think I would inspire new generation with sexual fantasies. I certainly hope so. What do I think captured the imagination of the viewers when it was first shown? Me, darling. I've always maintained that.